For the past 4 years, I've been living life on the road, traveling across the U.S., exploring nature's wild beauty, and living in my Jeeps every step of the way. Now, when I first set out to travel full-time, I hit the road in my Jeep, towing a travel trailer. It was a great way to ease into this lifestyle. Having a kitchen, a shower, a flushing toilet, a comfy bed, and an air conditioner. It made it feel like I was bringing a little piece of home with me. But as much as I appreciated these comforts, I quickly realized I never really enjoyed the towing experience. Driving felt stressful and limiting. After a year of hauling that trailer around, I decided it was time to simplify. I let go of those extra amenities, got rid of the trailer, and leaned into a more minimal, mobile way of living. Just me, my dog, my Jeep, and the open road. And honestly, it felt like the real beginning of my adventure. Okay, so, well, that Jeep was a task driving across these states. I mean, I did 20 plus states with that Jeep. And because of it being lifted with the big tires and all the mods on it, I had to keep two hands on the steering wheel at all times. I never went over 65 miles per hour. It really was not the most comfortable driving that big old Jeep across these states. I mean, it was built out for rock crawling originally, not for traveling across the states. So, the time came where I got another Jeep. And I actually was blessed with this Jeep. Last year, I had to go to California to help take care of a very dear friend of mine that was diagnosed with lymphoma cancer. And so I went out there and I took care of him for 4 months while he was going through his cancer and everything. I was his caregiver for the whole entire 4 months. And I went out there because he had no friends and family out there to really help him and help take care of him. And he didn't want to be put into a home. And when it comes to my friends, my real friends, I will bend over backwards for them. And I went out there with no expectations, except for to take care of my friend. Well, about a month and a half before he passed away, he decided he wanted to leave me his Jeep that he recently had gotten. It was pretty brand new. It was so brand new that there was only 3,000 miles on the Jeep. And so he left me his Jeep. There's no need for me to have two Jeeps. Now I had a brand new 2023 Jeep Wrangler that was ready for the traveling and for the road. It wasn't lifted, it was completely stopped. And so I decided to sell the old Jeep and say my goodbyes to that old Jeep with so many memories. But I knew I was making a smart decision. I knew it was smart to sell the old Jeep, replenish my funds, because when I took a break when I went out there to help my friend for the 4 months, I put my YouTube channel kind of on the back burner. He was my main focus. So selling my old Jeep replenished my funds a little bit in the savings account. And then I started traveling with the new Jeep. So I started traveling in the new Jeep, but I kept this Jeep mostly stocked, aside from upgrading the tires. Now right away, I could definitely feel the difference. The ride was so much smoother and more comfortable compared to my old Jeep. And surprisingly, the interior was a little more spacious too. That extra room made a big difference when you're living full-time in your vehicle, especially with a dog. But if I'm being honest, the burnout from living in such a tiny space had already started to creep in during my time with the old Jeep. And as much as I appreciated the upgrades and the comfort of this new setup, I couldn't shake the feeling that I needed something bigger. Not just for me, but for my dog too. The freedom of the road was still calling, but I was craving more space to breathe, rest, and just exist. What you think of our new home, little one? Do you like having more room? Oh, I know you like having more room. You like looking out that big window right there and seeing everything and having more room to run around in, or in your case, walk around in. Yeah, I like your new home. The long wait is over. Here it is. I got me a Schoolie, aka short bus. So this is going to be my other travel vehicle right here. And I have to say, I've already been traveling for 2 weeks in it, and it is obviously a huge difference from the Jeeps. Little one is a lot more happier. No, you stay. She is a lot more happier in the bus, I can already tell. And then one of the things that I absolutely love about this bus is when we were traveling in the Jeeps, me and little one, I would always try to get her to look out the windows while I was driving and see the scenery and stuff. And I think maybe it was just uncomfortable for her to stand up on the window and look out, because she never would look out. To be quite honest with you, all she ever did was stare at her mama driving. So, if you guys can see, I have her little bed right there. And so when I'm driving the bus, she doesn't look at mama anymore. She's looking out the window the whole entire time. And it looks like she's enjoying looking out the window. And so that is one thing that I've absolutely loved. And then obviously I love that I have so much more room. And then real quick, because you guys know, one of the things that I always say when you're starting to go travel, one of the upgrades that you need to do to your vehicle is the tires. So the very first thing that I did when I got the bus is I took it to Discount Tire and I upgraded my tires. And well, because I've always loved the BF Goodrich brand, and on both of my Jeeps that I had the KO2s on there. And the KO2s, they're all-terrain tires. And I wanted a very good all-terrain tire because, well, I'm still planning on going down those dirt roads with this bus right here. So, BF Goodrich just came out with an upgraded version of KO2 tires, and they came out with KO3s. So I got the KO3 tires put on the bus. That was the very first thing that I did. And then my amazing friend that got the bus for me also got solar installed on the bus. So I am set with my solar system that I have. There's 800 watts of solar on top of the bus, and there's 3 lithium batteries, and then the control charger and all the other stuff that came with it to make the system work. And they added plugs inside of the bus also. So I am never going to run out of power ever again, because there is a fridge that came with the bus, and it's one of those Black & Decker dorm size fridges. And well, the fridge, it really wasn't that big, and the freezer on that fridge was like that small. So I did take my Ice Co fridge that I had inside my Jeep, and I put it inside the bus also, and I'm actually using the Ice Co fridge as a freezer. It is strictly my freezer. So now I'm going to be able to go out in the middle of nowhere and go set up camp, and I could probably be out there for about a month now, because I can put my meat in the freezer and freeze things. I have the big old fridge now to put all that stuff in and freeze it. And then also the water system that's on this bus, the fresh water thing, is 7 gallons. 7 gallons of water. And then I do also still have my water jug that I have, that I used inside my Jeep, where I just press the button and the water comes out, and that's 3 gallons of water. So 10 gallons of water on board that I can carry with me. But I have something bigger that I'm traveling in now, and it does have a big huge storage compartment in the back, so I can always put more gallons of water back there also. So ideally, I could probably go set up camp up in the mountains somewhere, in the forest somewhere, for like a whole entire month and be set. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is a huge game changer. And I'm sorry that I didn't share it with you guys sooner, but I wanted to have it all set up and ready to show you guys, because I knew I was getting the solar system and everything on it. And then, you know, I'm a girl, I wanted to have it decorated and stuff like that. So before I could actually announce the bus. All right, I know what you guys are waiting on. I know you want to see the inside. Let's go see the inside. Okay, there's the baby. There's the little one. And that's her little seat right there. So I added these little wallpaper things that I literally got for like $10 off of Amazon. And then this is my 3-gallon water jug that I was telling you guys about. That's the car fridge. That's a freezer. Dirty clothes. So I will be taking this this bus seat out, and I am going to put a compost toilet right there. There's the sink. These are the plugs that they added. The solar people did. And then this is my best friend Jeff that passed away from pancreatic cancer, because I have a picture of him everywhere that I go because he's an inspiration to me. And then my little clothes hanger thingamajigger. And then now, guys, that I have something bigger to travel in, I was able to bring my drum with me. I know a lot of people don't know about my drum because I couldn't really bring it in the Jeep with me. There's the little one's food bowls, dresser, and then the bed. And there it is. My little personal touches. Oh, and then here we go. Since I'm always on the hunt for bears, that's as close to a bear I'm ever gonna get right there. And then I have my little magnets over the years that I've been traveling. I would collect magnets and stickers. And then I also put the magnets by the door. All right there. And then it does still have the bus thing. This is how you open and close the door. Like that. And then that's it. Okay, so when I got this bus, it was already built out. So the only thing that wasn't in here was this little white dresser right here. And I got this white dresser pretty cheap off of Amazon, but I felt like there wasn't enough storage on the inside. I mean, yes, there is this right here, but I've got some stuff stored in there because I wanted things to be accessible on the inside, and I didn't want everything to be stored outside in the storage compartment. So this has all my clothes in it, this little dresser. And yeah, and then down here is the 7 gallons of fresh water. So there's one of the blue containers is the fresh water, and then the other one is the black tank. And so all I have to do is unscrew this, take the container out, and empty it. And then same thing with the fresh water tank. I just unscrewed the top and pour the water in there. So yeah, it's nice. It is so nice. I mean, it's perfect size for me. I don't know if you guys can see. I literally have like about 2 inches before my head will hit the ceiling, so only short people can come in here. And then the bus, it fits perfectly in a parking spot. You just have to do a wide turn into the parking spot, but it fits perfectly into a parking spot. And then as far as driving it, I feel like I'm driving my old Jeep. So that's what it feels like. So back to 2 hands on the steering wheel and not going over 65 miles per hour. But otherwise it drives pretty good. It is a 2009 Chevy, and there was only 46,000 miles on it. That's right, 46,000 miles. So I mean, realistically, I couldn't just keep living in those Jeeps. And also, you guys know how I feel about my little dog. I don't know how much longer I have with my little dog. And she has all these health issues now. And so I wanted to give her something bigger for us to be traveling in and living in. And not in such a tiny, tiny space. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I have been burned out on living in the Jeeps for about a year now. And I'm not getting any younger. I wish I was. As I'm filming this right here, it's actually the day before my birthday, so I'm about to be a year older. So, I can't be some old lady traveling around in her Jeep still and trying to sleep in the back of the Jeep in the bed back there. I needed something bigger. And I'm not finished with my traveling. There's so much more to see and do in these states that I want to see and do. And so it was time. And so I'm going to end this video now with saying a huge, huge, huge thank you to my very good friend that gave me this amazing, amazing birthday present. Definitely one of the best presents I've ever gotten in my whole entire life. This is a huge game changer for me. Huge game changer. And I know also what some of you guys are thinking. You guys are probably thinking, oh, but your name on YouTube is Wandering Jeepsy. Well, guys, I still have my Jeep. And I'm still, every once in a while, gonna probably take my Jeep out and go travel in it. Every once in a while also. Because there is gonna be some places that I want to go and take the Jeep out and go camp at that this bus is not going to make it to. There's some long off-roading trails across states and everything that I've been wanting to do, and I just can't do it in the bus. I'll have to do it in the Jeep. And so I'm not changing my name. I've had my name for a while. I've kind of branded it. Jeeps are kind of in my life and have been for a while. I just have a Schoolie now. And well, to be quite honest with you, I thought it would be cute if right there on the top, above the windshield, that white spot up there where people normally put things, or it normally says school bus, I've been thinking about putting a Jeep grill up there. I think that would be funny and cute. But I just got the bus. I am going to paint it eventually. But I want to travel a little bit more in the bus because I freshly just got it before I make any rational decisions on how I want to paint it, what I want to do with it, and so on forth. I think I want to travel a little bit more in the bus, get a feel of the bus, and by the end of the year, I'll know what I really want to do more to the bus. But honestly, there's not much more to do to this bus except for paint it, the exterior. So, the new journey and the new adventures have begun.